Vills on the attack dance, and this will be even better. He's not switching, he's on XP. The cab is going down. It's getting melted by the buildings here. The longbows are still standing and doing damage.
Does he have enough steam though?
There's not enough
running out though.
Yeah.
Eaton Bowman, 1.5 fire rate once again, coming up, Truck being king here, and just even though
drag boxing the Naginatas forward, the Coyotes are trying to move, and the Atoan, he drag boxed the wrong direction, and now the Atoans are getting snared by the. Oh my
Nagis
goodness!
are shredding this right now, and it doesn't look like he's got
11s.
I don't see any of the pikes. Where's the pikes on this fight? The Nagis are just cleaning this entire mass up. Coyotes are falling. You got the Ashies getting buffed for the Dynamo. They've got Ashy attacking. They're absolutely shredding everything here. Yumi don't even need to micro this at this point.
He's gonna have to sack off his thrust. Yes, he has to come in melee here.
Yes.
I don't think he can continue keep microing. Well, he's gonna try, wait for reinforcements and try to make it to his blockhouses. The question is, how much damage will he gonna be taking? This is nice micro from Ungas, but you know, the Atontons just have to attack move here. And 1.5 fire rate, they do have a staff animation. And the Tontons are absolutely insane. But he has drawn him into the double blockhouse. Now fighting under the double blockhouse. The question is it going to be
Skids are a little behind here. The Cossacks are now getting snared by the Pumas and the Coyotes. The Explorer is now in with the triple XP tech. Some warriors are mixing. The Atoans doing absolutely insane amount of damage. He's on plus 36%. Look at him on the attack. That's plus 36%. And he's just
Coyotes on the Strelets.
Blockhouses are actually doing decent damage here. The Coyotes are kind of going down. The Spears are now trying to move in towards the front, and it's actually a decent fight, I think, for Tabin.
Pretty good fight for Tabin, but you know, there's not very many Cossacks. He's letting a lot of these Coyotes and Pumas kind of shred his Strelets a bit. Finally getting his Cossacks where they want to be on the Slingers, and gonna be cleaning up.
Here, the Assassins are out of position. The Carolinians as well, and the Assassins are gonna go up top. Oh, the tree carrying here. The tree is for Sweden, and there you go. We can see some damage here. The Assassins, all the Assassins are dead. That's quite a lot of mass. The Assassins coming back from their raid. Nah, GG. Optimus, his mass is getting completely clean. With the Assassins, that's gonna be a big snare right there, and there is no way those Carolinians are gonna come out alive.
Maybe should be able to swing this water fight. Yeah, this is so, the micro here is so intense. Get in, get back in. Will the Yumi have the chance to snipe him? Look at the ship is at 62 HP.
Oh! Frontline, what a god.
Oh no! Oh my god! Oh my gosh, Michael, it was insane, and that's GG. Wow, those galleys have such low HP.
All right, what's up, everybody? This is week 3 of EPL. Today I'm joined by the one and only Kaiser Klein, and we'll be casting. Okay, do they hear me? I'm pretty sure they hear me. Okay, today we'll be casting OnlyBaus versus Frontline, and this is one of the most, I think, history to matchups in EPL because the two of them have played 3 times in the past 6 months, so they've been playing each other a lot over the past few tournaments. And so far, Frontline has been ahead with a slight edge. So I think if we look at the head-to-head matchups, Frontline has won 4-1, 4-2, and 4-3. So he's up like 12-6. And I've been joking with Baus, you know, Frontline might have him once, he might have him twice, he might have him 3 times, but 4th time's the charm. So hopefully Baus can pull one off for his team this week.
Yeah, I mean, well, hi boys. Yeah, Boss has improved a lot, I think. Like, I mean, for an old timer like me, like Boss used to be more like mid-tier, you know, and now he seems to be pretty strong. So I think he could definitely take the win here if he plays sharply, you know.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Baus, I remember like maybe a year ago, he was still like, as you say, kind of mid-tier, losing to like the top players pretty consistently. But recently, he's beaten like Phoenix in a series 4-3, and many people consider Phoenix to be like a little bit above even Frontline's level in terms of consistency. He's also gone like 4-2 with 3-2 against Ketterboy. So he lost, but it was like quite a close series. And Ketterboy is like a top 2 player right now, right? Him and Julian are probably at the top. And so I totally agree with you, Kaiser, that Baus has improved a lot. So I actually lobby him quite a lot in practice just for fun. I mean, I'm obviously not a top player by any means, but it's super fun to kind of see what kind of builds he's going for. And maybe I have a little bit of insider intel that I can share as the games start up.
Yeah, that's always nice. I used to have that a lot with like Haza or Maito, you know, just already kind of knowing what they're gonna do, and it's just funny to be able to you know, like compare the plan to what actually happens in game. Sometimes it's like exactly what they planned, sometimes it goes completely wrong, you know, but it's always interesting to watch, I feel like.
Yeah, definitely. It also feels nice, you know, has a little bit of an ego boost, like, I know what he's about to do.
Yeah.
You guys don't know, but I do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So the players are getting ready to start. I think they're choosing the civs. But while we wait for that, I wanted to do a quick overview of what the state of the season is like. So if you guys can also kind of follow along and look at the analysis if you go over to the website, which I will link in the chat here. But right now, we kind of have a clear top 2 in the league. Hudson Bay Bigs and CMC are leading with 34 wins and 31 wins each. This week, we have the Hudson Bay Bigs versus SKG and CMC versus MDS. And MDS right now is probably considered the weakest team. So CMC, per my analysis, is probably guaranteed the finals. While HBB versus SKG is where most of I think the action will be this week. So we can also take a look at the week 3 previews if you guys navigate over to this website here. And you can look at exactly how the results of this week will affect who makes the playoffs. So who is the top 2 teams. So right now, what I'm predicting with some analysis is that MDS versus CMC, we're expecting a 9-16, where MDS gets 9 points and CMC gets 16, while HBB, SKG can be very close. And if this kind of expected outcome happens, we will see HBB and CMC make it into the finals. Basically like neck and neck. So these 2 teams will both have 44 wins. So super, super close between the 2 of them. On the other hand, there is a world where SKG can make it, right? If SKG manages to beat HBB 16-9 or better, they will actually take HBB's place in the finals. Now, on the other hand, MDS, I think there's only one word to describe their season, and it's cooked, because they will need at least a 19-6 to even have a shot at making it to the finals. And this is against probably the strongest team, CMC, which has both Ketterboy and Haza. And even if they win 19-6, they still need HBB or SKG to demolish the other team. So either HBB beating SKG 16-9 or better, or actually SKG beating HBB 21 or better, or 22 or better, which is probably not going to happen. But if you guys in the chat want to play around and see what the possible outcomes are, either likely or not, you can play around with this website over here. But I think at the bottom line is SKG probably needs to win 16-9 in order to make it to the finals, and that's not impossible, even if it's maybe a bit unlikely. It would be an upset. Kind of nerding out over here. I'm maybe putting Kaiser Klein to sleep a little bit. No, I'm just kidding.
No, was just listening. Like I said, I just didn't follow enough, so you know, I just I don't have much to add, you know.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Good stats, nice website.
Thank you. No, I was just joking.
Yeah, I know. And yeah, I didn't realize Haza and Keter were on the same team actually.
Yeah, there are 2 of them. Gigs paid a lot for the 2 of them, but it turns out maybe it's worth it. So
yeah, I mean, you know, it depends. Like sometimes it's more efficient to have like a solid roster of like 5 players, and sometimes just to go for like 2 one or two like really strong players who just like can on their own turn the tables, kind of.
Yeah, for sure. So I think, so if you take a look on the stream, so the CMC team that they're both on, Giggs had paid like 4,400 for Getter, 4,300 for Hazza, but the rest of the team has actually been quite strong as well. So they have Daniel, aka a sturdy table. He's been performing really well. I think he won both of his series so far, even though he was bought for pretty cheap of just 1,050 duck coins. Lucas has done decently as well, although he did get 5-0'd by Opti in week 2. Sorry, in week 1. But in week 2, I think he had a really nice performance against Kevin. Reese, I think, is a bit MIA, but Zoom has actually turned out to be a really solid pick as well. He actually beats Batu in the last series that he played, 3-2. So Zoom also kind of a very strong, underrated player, at least during the bidding.
Yeah, I have no idea who Zoom is actually, so...
Yeah, I think he's recently improved a lot. He's a team player, I think.
Okay. Like, we used to have a Zoom on ESOC, but like more than 5 years ago, you know, he was running the EP patches and stuff, but I'm pretty sure it's not the same guy, so...
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Is it the same guy? It'd be kind of crazy if it was, but I think he's pretty young and new to the game, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, that guy was like, and he wasn't even playing the game back then, so I like not anymore, so I don't think he would come back, but yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, interesting anyway.
We do have the matchup for the first game. It's a French mirror.
Okay, French mirror makes sense for game 1. I mean, is it blind pick or do they agree on a matchup?
It is blind pick. So
Okay,
I
yeah,
believe...
makes even more sense to be a French mirror if it's a blind pick, because France is just so solid, you know. It's a strong save and it also doesn't really have any hard counter, so it's just such a safe pick. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. The map is Sahel, Sahel, Sahel. Do you know this map well? I actually don't know this one super well.
Is it like just a desert map with no TP, or
No, it's the
wait.
it's a desert map with like 3 TPs in the middle and some like cows spread over. There's like, I think, a gold mine on the south and the north east. Like for each player, there's like a gold mine.
Oh yeah, I see this one. Yeah, I mean, it's just a quite standard map, I guess. Kind of like a short rush distance, so you can be a little bit aggressive, maybe not too many hunts as well. So yeah, sort of like one of the more aggressive maps.
So we do have the game starting. Maybe Kaiser, you can take us in and explain, like, I mean, you're the French expert here. How would you play this matchup?
Yeah, sure. So we've got France obviously on the bottom of the map, played by Boss in the color red, and France as well for Frontline in the color blue. Might just win because it's got the proper color. We'll see. But yeah, this matchup is it's kind of a complicated matchup. In fact, it sounds simple, you know, because it's like France is pretty much the most standard save out there. So you would expect them to play very standard, and it is one way to play it, is like to just go for the traditional calf semi and just age and skirm gun bot is totally fine. It's something we've seen a billion times and it just works. But there's like a billion variations you can go for. In fact, like in this matchup, you can basically just calf start, musk start, you can play H2, you can semi FF. There might even be some sort of like semi-industrial cheese sometimes, and you could also crossbow pike rush if you age up earlier than your opponent. Not that it's like the best option, but it's always a cheese you can pull up, you know. And there's just so many variations like that. And I think I was one of the persons to kind of like start doing different stuff in French mirrors back then, like playing H2 and stuff like that. And I feel like we see it more and more recently. Because with the 12-10 age up, which is the standard age up nowadays, it sort of like makes sense to play H2 for a bit sometimes. So yeah, I'm curious to see what they'll do. It's a bit hard to predict since, like I said, there's so many options. But yeah.
Yeah,
first thing you want to do is to eat some livestock here to speed up your 12-10 on this map, and I think they did that.
yeah, I think he had
Let's see any
2 cows. Yeah, I think he ate them
Yeah.
probably already.
You also have sheep when you start on this map. You start with
Right.
2 sheep, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So similar age up time, I think. Boss not just getting the best 12-10. That's sort of idle time. I mean, I'm gonna have to work on my accent because I mean both of them and not Baus, you know. But yeah, just not the best 12-10.
Yeah. I think usually with the cows you can get a pretty good 12-10 with the sheep, but I think both of them aging around 220 here, so not the best. One interesting thing I want to point out is that there are Berbers on this map. So if one player decides to go for this, I think it'll instantly discourage the other player from going for a Cav semi, right? Which is one of the ways this matchup can play out. I think
Yeah, right.
oftentimes...
I didn't even mention. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, no worries. I was saying that oftentimes on maps with Berbers, you'll see civs like France actually do a 5 Berber semi instead of a 5 Huss semi, just because it kind of shuts down Huss play from your opponents, and also allows you to train these Berber nomads, which is like a little bit of a boost to your eco.
Yeah, I didn't even mention that because, and we do see Frontline getting 1 native post already. But yeah, I didn't mention that because I'm not as familiar to D, and I forgot that these nuts are a thing. But yeah, that's a good point. I mean, it's totally an option there. To be honest, I feel like this might be like a counter cheese kind of in tournament. You could double bow pike rush if they do that, right? Because this calf sucks against bows, and I feel like you get vills from the nat, I think, as well, right? You can train vills, so it's extra greedy, so it could be punished by some sort of rush, but I don't believe any of those players will do that, so I'm curious to see how Baus reacts to this.
Yeah. So Baus not going for the Nats himself. He definitely knows they exist because when we lobbied on this, we were testing out a few variations of France or Germany going for the Berber semi. So he's definitely aware of this. So he is opting to start with a Rax because he scouted Berbers and starting with a Musk Bash here.
Yeah, I just so they're both doing racks in base, and that is kind of like one of the worst plans usually in a French mural, just because you're just behind if you go Musk compared to Huss usually, because you're more passive and your Musk are kind of useless in H3. But of course it makes sense against the Berbers, but at the same time, does it really make sense to like just sit in base and have less eco than your opponent and just sit there with Musks? You know, what you really, what is the plan, you know? You kind of need some counterplay there of some sort, I don't know.
Yeah, Frontline also just making Musketeers. So this Berber might be a little bit of a bait. Like Baus thinks that Frontline is maybe making a batch of Berbers and semiing, but instead he's just making Musketeers, and since these are a bit cheaper to make than the Berber Camels, he has the extra eco to fit in his Berber Nomads, which he's putting on coin now. So I think, at least from Frontline's perspective, he is trying to just get a little bit greedy and making Musketeers instead of the Berber Camels.
Yeah, it's just exactly, yeah, it's just some extra greed, and Boss getting like 4 mosques, which is not so good. One way to punish this could be to maybe try to age extra early yourself and push very hard in early fortress, but I'm not sure it really works. We do see 8 bows and a second racks. Okay, so that's the plan. So I guess he knows that there is a given timing where you're just gonna have more stuff than your opponent because he's training vills. Or if he goes for the Berber camel, you're just gonna have a lot of infantry and the camels will be shit, right? So either way, it feels like it's a good plan, like going for this big infantry timing. And it's gonna be exactly when Frontline tries to age up as well, with the standard 700 coin in third column. Bo's getting instantly scouted though, so those musks should be fine.
Yeah, he's even trying to cover him with the spy to live an extra shot, but the or not the spy, the native scout, but it does go down. He does scout the Frontline does scout the bows. I don't think he scouted the second racks, but he is probably preparing now for a timing.
Yeah, I mean, if you see 8 bows coming, you know,
Yeah,
you know what's
something.
coming, right?
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
musks are in base already, actually, and lots of exposed CDBs in the back, in fact. And oh, but those bows getting a bit too close, and the Explorer might just snare them, and splitting his units like that is quite risky, I feel like.
Yeah, for sure. So Frontline is already halfway up, so he's just trying to bide some time, maybe run around with these musks, try to avoid idling his CDB too much. CDB, obviously, with that 40% range resist, aren't too at danger to like these H2 units, especially since he has his great coats in and everything. So I don't expect Frontline to be losing too many vills unless he gets caught out here behind his base. But that's pretty dangerous, right? Okay, here we go. He's gonna get a pop out with Minutemen. 8 skirm probably.
Oh, and the snaring in melee as well, and the musks are coming back. One CDB going down, but for what cost? Was that the musk pop as well? I feel like, yeah, there was a musk in there as well, popping from the racks. And yeah, I mean, okay, so he killed the CDB, but Frontline has the extra vills, but I think Boss is getting his own Berber vills in the back of this.
Yeah.
So it's always a plan, you know, like to first hit the timing to punish your opponent's greed, and then catch up in eco yourself. And if you can do that successfully, you're always going to be ahead, essentially. But the question is, was this really enough damage for Boss to justify the extra units and the late age up, you know?
Yeah, and he's actually getting good trades here on the rest of the musk tiers as well. Frontline shipping 8 skirms, I believe, just coming in now, and batching some more skirms. So it's going to be like an early skirm musk composition. Maybe even adding some Berbers now of his own. And I feel like in this mirror, skirm musk is kind of okay early on, but as H3 progresses and Kurs start being added and Goons start being added, the skirm Kur Goon composition is way better than the skirm musk Kur composition. Would you agree? I think it's just...
Yeah.
But early on, it's
I know
totally
some people sometimes go that musk in H3 in French mirrors, and I think I personally think it's utter garbage. But yeah, like just having the few musks like this just early means you're a little bit less vulnerable to, let's say, even a cheese where your opponent would make some huss and not age or something. Then it might just be what you need. So, but yeah, I think he will add some guns pretty quickly. We do see 1k wood coming in for Baus. So, again, he's trying to catch up in eco, like he's queued the vills, and now he's trying to sneak in a 1k wood, which is quite bold because he aged after Frontline, and I'm not sure he will get away with it so easily, in fact. But he does have the double racks advantage, which means he can quickly mass some skirms, and as you can see, he's got a bunch of them right now already.
Yeah. Although it's a bit dangerous, I think, to push super far out with just skirm, because yes, they counter Berbers, but Berbers have very high kind of base HP, and they can actually do a decent job snaring skirms. Although, like, if the skirms kite properly, it's probably still a bad trade, because these Berbers are quite expensive. 180. So basically like a...
Oh, this one of them will go down, yep. And that's a TC, wow. Okay, so he's gonna be able to give up on the TC quickly, which is nice, but it just gives away his plan right now. Boss knows that Frontline is trying to sneak a TC. It's gonna be much harder for Frontline now. I think I would probably give up altogether on trying to build a TC now if I were Frontline. Just use the wood for something else.
Yeah. And
sort of like mind game your opponent, because he thinks you're gonna greed and you just don't. But yeah, pretty close game so far.
Yeah, the score also says it's close. Frontline, let's just quickly check the eco. 32 CDB. I believe he's gotten all of his native CDB as well. Or almost. So he's training his last one. And if we look at Baus, same story. He has all of his CDB. 35 versus 32. So Baus is actually a little bit ahead in eco.
Yeah, I think there must have been some idle time that was caused by the push, because I don't think he lost 3 CDBs, Frontline. I think just he wasn't able to train them consistently.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, but now maybe
Ooh, 2
the
CDB.
payback is coming.
Ooh, almost
What?
getting 2.
He could have gotten a third one, I feel like, but yeah.
Second TC.
Second one, I mean. Oh, yeah, so that's what the 1K wood was for. Okay. So the interesting thing here is we saw Frontline taking the vet, the elite camel rider thing. So it's gonna be a little bit of an asymmetrical unit composition, I feel like.
Yeah, for sure. With good kiting, I think like your Skirm Goon is probably okay against these guys because they have melee resist, and Skirms obviously have that multiple against them because they're tagged as light cavalry. But on the other hand, like with good positioning, these Berbers will absolutely demolish goons in melee if they get on top of them goons.
Yeah, the main concern is not exactly the goons, but more like the scare mass of Baus with the double racks, you know, which means those camels are just not as effective. Frontline was able to get his second TC up, in fact. So looks like we're going in for a bit of a slower game right now. Like boss players going for the grid, you know, getting extra bills and then getting a second TC. And now we see Queers and calf combat for Baus. Quite an early calf combat shipment. I'm not sure. Oh, Falconet's getting in range. Yeah. Okay, so that gives away the fact that Frontline got Falconets, right?
Yeah. So the current spy meta is basically to have a spy to mirror your opponent's spy so that they can find each other. It's just so funny because the spy gives so much value in terms of like figuring out where your opponent's military is positioned, where they're gathering. It just gives like additional line of sight, and it's so beneficial, especially in these like trades where you want your Falconets kind of positioned perfectly against your opponents. So I think it was actually Cap Combat coming in for Frontline here. He just shipped it and is batching Cuirassiers, while OnlyBaus I think just shipped his 2 Falconets, so no Cap Combat in yet. Cap Combat does benefit the camels in addition to his curs, so these guys are pretty jacked right now.
Yeah, and the question is, are the camels really gonna be enough to act as anti-cav there? Oh, and okay, another volley for Frontline here. Nothing too big, but you know, he's bleeding some skirms, so has to be careful there.
Yeah.
The cav is going forward, and the Falconites will be traded, but the goons need to not go in too much. Like he needs to focus the Queers. Looks like this could be good for Baus actually. I feel like the cav is melting quite quickly, I think, and there's still a bunch. Oh, but 5 more Queers could completely change this fight now. He needs to retreat back to TC and call Minutemen and stuff, and maybe use the CDBs to fight. Okay, Frontline going back because of the choke. Makes sense. A bit hard to push in there.
For sure. The macro not looking the best for Baus here. Look at this. 850 wood.
Yeah, and I think he just spent 500 wood on something. Did he just sell the wood, or I don't see a third TC, but
no, I mean,
yeah, he.
But, yeah.
Oh yeah, my bad.
Yeah, no worries, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, he needs to really remacro this. I think it was fine, but this miss macro, and yeah, it just could cost him a lot.
That is a lot of wood to be stacking here. I guess if you have the wood here, you might as well drop a third TC, Arsenal, get your ranged cavalry, Caracal, things like this, right?
Definitely, yeah.
Compositionally, I think Frontline was probably ahead, but the camels were kind of fighting Skirm instead of the goons, while the Cur were fighting the goons, which was a little bit unfortunate positioning there. But it looks like the score is a little bit pulling ahead for Frontline.
Yeah, I think he did get the better end of the trade, maybe, by just a bit, and the fact that Boss was mismacroed again, you know. Also, he forgot to ship his shipment, so, you know, now he's got 2 of them back to back. And that is also why his score was a little bit deflated, I guess,
Right.
because just, you know, stacking that. Jaeger is coming for Frontline, though. Interesting. Mixing in some goons on top of the camels. I guess he's afraid of the calf switch.
This is a big skirm mass though from Frontline here. Although Jaegers maybe will swing this in favor of, sorry, big massive skirms right now out for Baus, but maybe the Jaegers being shipped here will give will swing it in favor for Frontline. Because 10 Jaegers plus 26 skirm is like maybe 46 skirm, while Baus has 44. So yeah, it'll be very close.
Yeah, definitely.
Heading
Feels like
Crusaders.
he kind of knew that the camels were coming and stuff, because his plan is definitely to go heavier on skirm than you usually do, but it could be just a bit too heavy, you know, like there's not that many goons.
Yeah.
Oh, and the cab is going forward again. Some queers being mixed in, but I feel like before you can add queer here, you might want like 5 more goons or something, but he might have a 5 goon shipment on the way, maybe? I know he had that. Okay, maybe he shipped it already, I'm not sure, but...
Nope, still available.
Okay, so I don't know what the second shipment he sent was, but they're sort of like trading, and I feel like Frontline is again getting the better trade here.
Yeah, these Jaegers are so powerful if you can't one-shot them, because they have that 40% range resist and really, really high damage compared to normal skirmishers. Also a one kind of raid happening here, but Frontline's Camel's going for a raid even on the CDB, which have range resist, while at the same time microing out here in front. Good choke point behind these buildings for Baus though.
Yeah, the thing is that regardless of the choke, I think Frontline has the skirm advantage, so it's gonna be a little bit hard to hold for Baus, but maybe a good like 10 skirm batch could save him here.
Yeah, it looks like he has the resources to do that. One thing to note is that Baus still does not have cav combat in, so Frontline's Curs and Camels are much stronger than Baus's. Especially because he has... Oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I thought he did ship that, but maybe he cancelled it. I think he started to send it at some point, and he must have cancelled it then. But yeah, calf combat also works on camels, by the way, I think so.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, some cures being donated though. But they did some good splash damage there, but still not a good trade for Baus.
This skirm fight is kind of evening out though. Like the double racks in the long run will give OnlyBaus a little bit of an advantage in the skirm war. But shooting Cur here and just losing a few Curs of his own at the same time. Good micro from Frontline, and also catching the second TC here and pushing him off resources. Super close game for game number 1 here.
Yeah, definitely. Still, like, looks like it's just a matter of time until like Frontline can maybe just the nail in the coffin here, because he's pulling so much ahead in score.
Yeah.
In a mirror, you know. Maybe a big raid or something could swing it back in favor of Baus, but I think he got himself raided quite a lot.
66 fills versus 51. Yeah, huge eco difference. And look at this now. Curs catching camel raids is not really what you want. Although they actually will clean up these camels. Still, like, maybe not the best trade.
Nah, definitely not.
Now Frontline adding a second rack, so he will be quickly catching up in skirm count as well with his superior economy. So yeah, as I said, 68 vills versus 51. That's where the score difference is happening right now, I think.
I think there's a raid on top or something happened there. On the very top of the map, there was some...
Oh, could be.
I think
maybe
it
I was
died
on
already.
Mother Nature, I think. So the hunt's getting shot.
Oh, yeah, okay. Nah, it's fine. Okay, that's out of skirms for Baus here. But I feel like the second he starts like having enough skirms, he's just gonna get like there's gonna be maybe 10 queers coming soon and clean up. 10 more skirms coming, yeah.
Yeah, losing more CDB in the front line here. Good pokes from Frontline.
Yeah, it's a bit hard for BAUS to stand his ground here. You do have a raid again. Oh, but he's getting caught nicely by the goons. That's the kind of small picks he needs to get, but more Bills dying here on the left. Only 5 goons being here, and I think Frontline knows he's got a window here to try and force a fight. The other goons are coming just now, so they're gonna be here on time, but okay, not a bad trade for BAUS actually.
Yeah, but losing so many CDB on the front line here is not what you want to have happen during this fight. Look at the score difference. I mean, Frontline basically at max CDB, while BAUS actually losing CDB during that exchange. So I don't even know if Frontline needs to be poking this hard anymore. Like, he can just sit back, mass skirmishers, mass curs probably, get his maximum number of Berbers, and he is in a great position here. Just with superior eco and basically better units as well, because he had, I think with the Berbers mixed in with his curs here, it is definitely the superior unit composition.
Yeah, probably, yeah. Looks like Frontline is a bit struggling to end this, but I just don't see BAUS coming back from such a score difference and constantly getting raided. Yeah, he needs to like drop a tower or something. Yeah. Reap. Was a close game until some point.
Yeah, I think the villager pop, I mean, just constantly getting raided so that he can't keep up in vill count, while Frontline basically unidled in his economy, just gradually outscaling until at the end he has like a 30 CDB gap, right? And at that point, the game is just unwinnable, I think, in a mirror, being up 30 CDB and having equal military mass.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And we can see the we could see that fight, the H2 fight, you know, where BAUS lost just I don't think it was worth it if you check the military unit just very early there when yeah, that's just a lot of units that died there for BAUS for a couple CDBs.
I think he just lost one, just one CDB here.
Yeah, and some idle, I guess, but yeah, like you lose a lot of units, you age later, and you delay your own Berber Vills production. I don't think it was really a good trade. It could have been a good timing, but it just didn't. I feel like the fact that he split the crossbows from the rest of his army cost him a lot of time and preventing him from really just achieving much.
Yeah. I feel like in the DE meta these days, Berbers are probably one of the best natives, and really we saw this game that it really changed the dynamic of how this mirror usually plays out, right? Like trying to prioritize getting the Berber Vills, and then in H3 getting the superior unit composition by adding Berbers into your hand cav, just making it harder for your opponent to micro, and also like connecting Berbers on goons is just a massacre for any bit of like miss micro from your opponents.
Yeah, definitely. Well, nicely done by Frontline there. 4 more games to go though, so we'll see if BAUS can make it happen, you know. I mean, like he did it was a pretty close game, so you know.
Yeah.
Curious to see what so Frontline has to first pick now, I guess, and I'm curious to see what he's gonna pick. And do you know the next map?
Yeah, I'm checking that now. I think the next map is a no TP. It's Pampas Sierras.
Okay,
yeah.
Pampas Sierras. A little bit harder to first pick on an OTP map because there's just kind of less viable civs usually, so you have less choices. Like you don't really have a civ like France, a solid pick. I mean, I guess there's Brits. It's the one solid no TP map, I would say. Pampas Sierras, yeah. India is usually good, but on this map, but I don't think it's a very good civ, generally speaking. So
there's also like in the new meta, right? There's Italy, and Italy I think is actually some consider a counter pick even to Brit and India, which are traditionally, I think, the strongest civs on no TP maps, right? Britain, India. But there's this kind of third contender now, which is Italy, which is absolutely insane with their FI, especially on maps that have decent hunts. And I think on Pampas Sierras, if you get good herding, you can have decent hunts to FI with Italy. And that makes it super annoying for like any civ to deal with, especially on a no TP map where you can't get stagecoach. You can't like rely on some sort of FF timing.
Yeah, definitely. The hunts can be a little bit they're not the best hunts on Pampaceros, but they're definitely okay, and you have the livestock as well.
Right.
It's also quite a choky map, so walling is always an option there. So yeah, curious to see what they go for.
So Frontline actually does pick Italy, and I think that's probably a safe pick. Frontline is very comfortable with that civilization, and I think he knows that it does well against Baus's picks of either Russia or Brits. I think in theory, Italy can do well against both. And okay, and here, yeah, Baus actually does pick Russia, so he is kind of predicting what matchups, or like similar to what we were predicting, right? It's Russia versus Italy.
Yeah, I mean, I think we wait. I think I casted a like the same matchup, right? On what was it?
Painted Desert.
How is it called? Painted Desert. Yeah.
Yeah. That was
and that was Baus.
Baus Ketterboy.
Yeah. And Baus just showed up with 1 billion mosques and did pretty well. But I'm pretty sure Frontline knows about. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's watched that, so he must be prepared.
I have some insider information, which is that apparently 2 or 3 days ago, Frontline DM'd Ketterboy and asked him for all 5 of the Rex in that matchup so that he could study what Baus's builds were. So I think Frontline has been absolutely sweating this series. So he is really prepared. He's been watching the Rex back. And Baus did actually kind of cook up a non-standard, I would say, Russia build where that he executed against Ketterboy in that game you were mentioning, where he goes 700 coins, 700 food, 5 Cossack, 4 Cossack. So basically like a super all-in, slightly delayed timing. And the goal is to kind of hit Italy as soon as they're aging up with just a million musketeers and 5 Cossack followed by 4 Cossack. And this build is, I would say, a little bit cheesy, just because if your opponent like scouts it very well, I think Italy does have a very good counter, which is just a naked FF, and go for the fast age up so that you get 12 musketeers upon aging up. 9 musketeers upon aging up, and a batch of 5 plus Minutemen plus Vils that already have great coats and stuff because of Italy. So they can do a good job, I think, holding it just with a naked FF.
Yeah, maybe you can adapt the build to hit a little bit of an earlier timing if you think they're gonna FF instead of CAF semi or something. But I'm not sure there is an early enough timing. Russia sort of struggles to mass units early on because of the Vil and units batch system, and yeah, it can be a little bit hard to really get a strong timing at like say 7 minutes or below. So yeah, I'm curious to see how this matchup will play.
Yeah, for sure. I'm also very curious if Frontline has cooked up anything specific against Baus's Russia, just because I know that he's aware of this build and that he's been studying it. So it should be super fun to see.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Baus will not go for the exact same build the second time. That would be a bit risky, I feel like.
Let me just take a quick look at the chat.
Yeah, just get some water. I'll be right back.
Yeah, take your time. Didn't Baus beat Keter Italy? He did indeed with Russia. So we're looking at the same matchup now. What is BF SKG MVP? Can somebody parse that for me? Baron mentioned? Baron mentioned? Baron mentioned? Big. big front line. And we do have the game, so while we wait for Kaiser, I'll probably just head into the game so that we're not too far behind. And let me go right in.
Yep, I'm back.
Yeah, what's up? All right, we are on map number 2. It's Pampa Sierras. On the south side of the map, in the color blue, we have Frontline playing as the Italians. Many would consider one of the most powerful and potentially the lamest civilizations in our current DE patch. On the north side of the map, we have one of the OG civilizations, Russia, also one of the civilizations that BAUS has been known for over the years. And he is playing one of his main squeezes in the color red on the north side. So on this map, the starting thing to pay attention to is always the livestock on the left. So BAUS taking a pretty, it's Frontline taking a very kind of straight line, going for a loop to get at least 4 of the cattle guaranteed. And that totally makes sense. It's probably too greedy to go for the 5th or 6th ones if you don't have that faster explorer or a faster scout. BAUS doing the exact same thing, gonna pick up 4 as well. So the age 1 livestock contention is basically dead even.
Yep. Yeah, and I think those llamas are going to be very nice for Russia because you tend to have a bit of idle time as Russia if you go for the 14 age job usually. So having that extra food income can be very nice for them.
Yeah.
So we've got the normal Italy stuff where they just get their market upgrades and so on. Did Russia go for a market, or is it just a more aggressive age up? No market. Didn't gather the wood, so I think when he did his timing build, he went market. Or maybe not. Wait, no, he went in transition actually. So yeah, maybe. I don't know. I feel like he's got 125 coin now. He could have done something with that market, I feel like. But yeah.
Yeah, maybe with another wood treasure, he would have gone for it. Like if he maybe had scouted this. I don't know, because right now it's a bit awkward because you have too much coin and not enough wood, right? Because I think he has exactly 100 wood. So you'd have to chop 50 to get hunting dogs, which maybe he doesn't want to do.
Yeah, I feel like if you eat a bit more llamas, and you can still age in time, and having the age 1 market for Russia can be super nice. Like I said, they struggle early on to just do stuff, generally speaking. So if you have already your market in hunting dogs, it can speed up your early age to just so much sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. Frontline here going for steel traps. So this build, I think, kind of indicates an FF already to me. He's going for Market House Lombard. He's gotten steel traps. He's going to age up very slow, but Italy is kind of okay doing that because you're basically gathering immediately during transition to go and click up to H3. So in transition, I expect he'll basically macro for 1 architect and then just everybody on food and 5 bills on coin or something. Actually, let me take that back because he's on wood.
Yeah.
So yeah,
just
I'm
contradicting you instantly
Instantly
there.
wrong.
Yeah. And I don't know what the wood is for. Is it like he's got all his market upgrades already, right? So I guess the wood is not for that. Oh, maybe placer mines?
Placer mines.
Okay, but he's still chopping though.
Oh no, he's off now. No, so I think
okay.
yeah, maybe it's still, yeah, it is still an FF probably.
Yeah. I think so.
Cool. BAUS now trying to herd in his hunts. He sends Vills out and putting them like very central on the map to get the blockhouse up ASAP. I think the question is, what will he ship first, right? Will it be 700 coin, or will it be something more standard like 700 wood or 5 Cossacks first?
Yeah, that's the question, in fact. And he's not mining any coin yet, so it might indicate a yeah, Frontline gets treasure. Might indicate a Strilet start. Yeah, he's shipping Strilet, and I think he will just like drop 2 houses and get a batch of 10 more Strilets as well, and try to flood the Italian base. Italy aging quite late. Yeah, which I guess makes sense if you FF because you just gather more resources. If you have more vills in H1, but still, you know, it could be a little bit tricky if they flood your base.
This could be super tricky indeed, because I think, again, like Frontline, because he's seen the previous recording of Ketterboy versus Baus, he is probably preparing for the same Musk timing, but I think, for example, the Cav start would actually completely counter this kind of Strelette flood, right? Just having like 4 or 5 Hus would completely clean him up here. And now he does scout the 13 Strelettes. The tower is up, but he's going to be idled almost instantly. And Strelettes are super effective against TC Fire, right?
Yeah, even the tower, which is just it's always annoying, of course, when you're rushing, but it's just yeah, I think it's gonna go down just fine. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, it's right up.
Man, he should have just so like not been taking this treasure with his Explorer on the left right now. He should have been like snaring and maybe even blocking the foundations. He could have completely killed that wagon there.
Yeah.
Oh, one bill gonna maybe go down. Yeah, I think it's dead.
Architect.
Nicely done by Baus. Oh, it was the Architect.
Yeah, it was an Architect. That's huge.
Oh yeah, wow. And yeah, we see that Italy was not able to get all the resources it needs to wage. Russia following with 700 wood, which, I mean, could be for anything. It's a bit hard to say. It could be a stable, a second blockhouse, could be just a bunch of straight edge market grades. So we'll have to check what the wood goes into. And I think that's an 8 bow shipment, right?
Yeah.
For Italy coming in.
But Frontline doing a good job punching these Strelettes now. Oh, and yeah, these bows are actually quite strong. They're a little bit better than normal crossbows. They have the extra like 15% HP base. So under TC Fire,
Yeah,
they will be able to push off the Strelettes. And now I think Frontline will just try to age. Yep, he's still macroing to age. Kind of idling his vills a little bit, but I think all he wants to do now is to basically get his infrastructure set up and just macro to get up to that age 3 as soon as possible. He will have the option of sending advanced politicians, but if he sends this, I don't think he will have a shipment upon age up. But he is clicking up now, and let's see what he goes for. It's the marksman, so that's 8 bows.
Yeah. So Strelets coming in again. Thing is, I feel like the fast stage is kind of required here because you also get more bows out of it, right? So it's just, I feel like it's just good, even if you don't have another shipment after that. Explorer now coming to snare nicely done by Baus. So all these bows are dead, I think, and yeah. But meanwhile, Italy is gonna be able to gather again. He is saving the shipment for H3.
Yeah.
Which I'm not a fan of. Again, like 12 bows popping there would just completely shut down this aggression. Maybe she's afraid of some Cossack switch or something. But I think he's still got Minutemen, right? Italy hasn't called them yet. And we do see the 5 costs coming in.
Musketeers are out, getting a batch of 4 here, but I think they're going to get run down by all of the mass. And I don't know, I honestly think Russia is in a winning spot now, but you never know, like if you get a good pop with Minutemen and everything, all of a sudden Russia's completely cleaned up and Italy can ship Falcons and stuff behind that, right?
Yeah, also like I don't know if he's mismacroed or something, but Russia was floating a lot of resources just a few seconds ago. So maybe he wants to wage, which I can't say it's bad, but it feels like it would be easier to just keep like massing units, right? Just keep like more cav, so you kind of make sure you can prevent Falconets from being a real threat. But yeah, I think Russia's just gonna age, so... Because yeah, like you see now 2 Falcons coming and there's only 10 Musks and they're gonna just get clean. So imagine like 5 more costs from a stable and maybe some Musk or some more Stride would just maybe win the game on the spot, right?
Yeah, it does seem like that. I'm not sure though. I mean, I think he won't have enough now because there's still the threat of Minutemen and everything. I don't think he has enough now to be able to hold this.
Nah, yeah.
Although Frontline not
Thing
queuing
is,
any units. Ooh, Minutemen coming in.
But he can pop him in the Basilica, right?
Oh, this is not
in
a
the-
good pop.
I mean,
Oh,
it's
is
still
it?
straight edge, right? And that's a big choke, but oh yeah, so they do get the fuck. But you don't see that every day, right? Straight edge milling down some like 2 falconets and yeah, gonna be a little bit hard for Italy here. I feel like. Is Russia aging? No. So wait, what? Oh, so that was pure miss macro, or maybe he changed his mind midway. I'm not sure, but
I mean, he's still stacking a lot of
regardless, I
res.
mean, yeah, and he cleaned up the falconets, and regardless of that, so I think now the reinforcements are gonna be huge with all this resource stack he's got. So I don't see Italy really holding this. But then again, it's Italy, so who knows?
Yeah. You know, honestly, I wonder if like a counter to this is you still like go for the FF, but if you scout a Strelette start, instead of shipping 8 bows, you just macro for a Broken Lance Company. Because I think Broken Lance Company with Minutemen will just clean like infinite Strelettes, and Minutemen can just target the Cossack with Tower Fire or with TC Fire. So I wonder if that's probably an option. And while that's going on, you just drop a Rax with your Explorer. Not with your Explorer, with your Architects, and just batch Musk. I'm not sure.
But then you just don't FF, right? But
Yeah,
I mean,
you just-
it could
you
be
just-
weird, yeah.
Change stage too.
Oh, Gills popping, but I feel like he could get this tower. I'm not sure why Russia is going back. I think he's maybe afraid of a cav shipment and waiting for like his infantry combat and some more reinforcements. But yeah, Boss showing how it's done a second time in this matchup.
Yeah, against 2 of the best Italies in the game as well.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, Frontline is just like shooting at straight edge with bills, which is nice, but like those straight edges are essentially free.
Yeah.
So, you know,
60 res. And
look at the score, like
yeah, behind this, he's just outscaling because he's on 35 bills, and Frontline is only on 25. And these units are actually getting kind of good now because he's managed to get New Order regiments in.
yeah. And that was another Musk shipment, I guess, and they're just getting sniped, and yeah, just shipping like 8 H2 Musk or something like that, or 9. It just feels so sad, and yeah, another Viol gonna go down, 2 Viols even, and Frontline resigns. Wow.
Baus
Yeah,
to
not
go.
so easy to hold the rush. Not so easy.
Wow, look at
Maybe
this.
just the late age up time made the difference there for Italy. Because it just did not have the resources to age for a while.
Yeah, it was super close. Like he was, I think, maybe like 300 resources off. So just better age 1 and potentially just like a little bit of better treasures, or like any little bit of a difference would have allowed him to click up before the Strelettes like fully idled him. And then it's much scarier, right? Like with a good Falc pop, like imagine the Falcs pop from the Basilica like here, and the Musk were like standing here, right? Like you're never able to push into that. Minutemen out likes to snare, like it would be such good positioning for him. While since he popped them from the tower, yeah, it was kind of in a good choke, but all the Strelettes, like 30 Strelettes, just meleeed the Falcs down very, very quickly, and they didn't get as much value as they could have. But overall, I think very cleanly executed by Baus, except maybe the miss macro towards the end, but also a little bit of meta gaming from Baus. I think he knows that Frontline received the Rex and watched the Keter game, and that he will go for the naked FF, and Baus kind of did the blind counter to that, which is to go pure Strelettes early on. So very, very interesting meta gaming here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Frontline should have expected Baus to not go for the same stuff again, but yeah, I feel like yeah, like we said, you know, just the late age up just cost him a lot. And Russia is not very strong, but it can be very, very hard to beat them if they get the upper hand at some point and get into that position where they just keep like spamming those cheap units, start outscaling you, have the full map control, and you just never really get your head out of the water. So yeah.
Yeah. We do have the matchups for game number 3. We have Auto for Baus, I believe, and Ports for Frontline. So interestingly, counterpicking Ports with Auto. I think usually Auto is considered Ports is considered one of Auto's worst matchups. Not that Auto has any bad matchups per se, but
Yeah.
Ports is one of the matchups that I think are kind of close, along with maybe France. On some maps, maybe even Germany is okay against Auto. Although I'm not really a believer of that. I feel like nowadays with some of these new Auto builds, it makes it really tough for Germany to handle. Like the tiniest misplay and Germany's just dead. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. And what map is it now?
It's actually New England. So this is a map that I think traditionally we do kind of see this matchup because
New England, yeah. Yeah, the dynamic is pretty different on this map, obviously, and both of the civs definitely have some nice assets for New England,
yeah.
like the TC obviously for ports and the water potential. Auto just getting maybe, well, they don't get an outpost anymore, but you know, they can age with the gully. They, like Abus, are just so strong against warships.
Yeah.
And they have an easy time getting artillery on the field as well. So yeah, just you know, Auto pretty strong there. Also the stagecoach, obviously, just so many things on this map. So again, gonna be a little bit hard to predict what they're really gonna do because there's kind of like a lot of different options.
Okay, actually I got it wrong. So it's Baus picking Ports and Frontline playing Auto. Interesting.
Oh.
So I guess it was a counter pick for Auto using Baus's Ports. But this is really odd because I don't know. I didn't realize Baus played Ports at all.
Yeah, I didn't know either, to be honest. Maybe he's prepared something specifically for this series on New England.
Yeah. Very, very interesting. I've never seen Baus's Ports versus anything. I've never even seen him like queue Ports on the ladder, honestly. So
yeah, and I would like I don't know Boss well enough, but I would say that Ports don't really suit his playstyle usually, you know. He's kind of like a more standard aggressive player, I would say. And Ports are like on New England, you sort of like have to maybe, well, you don't have to, but their real strength is like to play like kind of like a cockroach, you know, and I don't know if Boss really does that, so we'll have to see, I guess.
yeah, and I think maybe this match up is kind of easier to play for Auto on this map because the game plan is, I think, kind of simple, right? Like Auto just wants to, if Ports is going water, Auto just takes the TP line and kind of just contains on the land and does things like with Jan Abus, whatever. While I think Ports probably, you need to know like some nuance of how to play this matchup to not die to certain timings from Auto and also not get outscaled by Auto on the land with TP Stagecoach and stuff. And probably just the more efficient units in the late game. Or in the mid game.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So we haven't started the game yet, but yeah. Looking forward to know what they're gonna do. Anything involving Abus on New England makes sense to begin with.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you kind of need more than just full Abus, right? I guess Abus boat is a good composition. Like you could actually like ship 2 galleys and go pure Abus early on.
You can just play on the coast so that you don't die to cav or anything.
Yeah.
You just like jump in and out of the boats.
Yeah, and they can't ship their own boats because they would get one shot by Abus anyway, so...
Abus OP.
Yeah, the problem is that they don't really have a lot of siege. They suck against TC Fire and they suck at raiding vills. So you're just not really gonna be able to do anything to the Portuguese base. But you know,
Yeah. I do see that in the scheduling chat, Baus is saying that he's busy fixing his deck. So that's a little bit of a tell for me. I don't know if he's doing this to do like mind games, like, oh my gosh, I'm not prepared for this matchup at all. I don't even have a deck. Or if he genuinely just picked this randomly and he actually that does not like have a strat prepared for this matchup on this map, which I kind of doubt. I know Baus is a bit sick and hasn't been preparing as much as he wanted to for this series, but still quite funny.
yeah, sucks that he's sick. But I mean, he's a sick player, so
Sick
makes
player,
sense.
yeah. Ooh, we do have it
All right.
up now, so let's hop right into the game. All right, why don't you take us in here?
Yep. So we've got Frontline playing as Otto in the color blue, and on the other side of the map is Baus playing Ports as red, and they're Baus going for a TP straight away, I believe. Okay, so Otto just gonna crack shot one of those natives. I mean, no, the guardians of the native treasure. So maybe he wants to try and use that guy to deny the, like, get the control of the TP line in H1. Maybe. Looks like Baus is not actually going for a TP. Maybe trying to just like straight away go like snare the Ottoman explorer and force him back home, or maybe he's just sniping some treasures, because that's the part of the map where you have all the treasures. And yeah, I do think he might go for this food treasure, and that is obviously really nice for ports. The earlier you age up with ports, the more views you're gonna be able to train out of your second TC. So you know, any food is always great.
Yeah, there's also this huge 140 food treasure out here. I don't think either player will be able to fight for that right now, just because they're both so close and it's so risky to get like a... Wait, what? He just gave up the treasure. Oh, I guess to not get snared. Wow.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense, I guess. A more Chad move would have been to take the treasure and then just be confident that you can ensnare yourself using the trick, you know?
Yeah.
If you melee at the perfect timing, you can ensnare yourself. Unless your opponent is kind of doing the same thing in reverse.
Right.
But I would have gone for it and just flex and snare, but you know, that's just me.
Yeah, the goat.
Nah, kidding, but... I mean, 35 coin is not exactly like...
Game changer.
so interesting right now anyway.
Yeah. No, the big baller move would be to right now go for the 140 food treasure. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
in front of your opponent's explorer. Oh, another food treasure. Is it gonna matter? Can we check the port point of view quickly? Okay, just a bit too late. So it turns from like an insane H1 treasure to like meh, because food is just not worth that much past like if it doesn't help you for your edge up time. Another 85 food. So he just went past those two treasures to try and contest like the middle map treasures, but I feel like Baus could have maybe picked up like 2 times 85 food before aging if he went straight for those ones, you know?
Yeah. He did manage to get the one over here, but I definitely agree. Like, getting these two would have been huge. I'm not sure he scouted the second one earlier on, because I think he took this route next to the TP to go to the middle. But still, like, I mean, seeing 85 food and not going for it is kind of crazy.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so Otto going for a second TP, I guess. Yep.
Yeah. Also going
nice pathing as usual.
Also going for 400 wood age up, so that's good. I do expect probably some like stagecoach play very early on with that 400 wood. Generally, if you're FFing, you go for the 2 vil 2 cow, right?
Yeah, then again, I guess like a stagecoach FF could be a thing, maybe. Like if you can get just the 4 TPs and stagecoach with 400 wood and go, I don't know, like 5 bills, 700 coin or something. I don't know if that's a thing, but wait, yeah. So Otto went for a 10-10. You probably mentioned that, but I didn't catch it. But yeah, okay, interesting.
No, I think he forgot to build a house in transition.
Oh.
Yeah, usually you build a house because he shipped capitalism, which means that you can go age up without a house, but you have to build one in transition. Otherwise, you idle a bit, and I think he did actually idle for like 15 seconds here. A bit unfortunate.
Yeah, bit unfortunate indeed. It could be intended. Like if you want to prioritize stagecoach and be like, yeah, I don't care about 15 seconds of idle time, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure it was.
Okay, very
so second
interesting.
TC.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No, that just what you were gonna say.
Yeah, it's a very interesting second TC because one thing on this map that's super common is pawn laming, right? Like you just put frigates in the pawn. That would give you a big advantage on any battle over the center of the map. And here a TC kind of is like a preemptive counter to that because the TC does have that anti-ship attack against warships. So super funny to see that he's placing this TC right on the pawn, even though it doesn't really secure any natural resources.
Yeah, exactly. That's the sad thing about this TC. Sometimes you can secure the pawn and also secure hunt, but here it's only gonna be the pawn, and every veil that pops out of it is gonna have some walking time to food or coin, unless like he chops wood, but you know.
Yeah.
And port aging already, so I guess he went 700 coin. I didn't quite see, but we do have a church as well. And Otto's gonna age. So what was that was 5 veil, 700 coin, right?
I think he did 700 wood, 5 veil, 700 coin. So a little bit slow, but because he had the 2 TP start, it's like a very interesting build because he had a 2 TP start. He has 2 shipments upon hitting up to H2. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this. Like he's gonna have too much food right now. The build seems a little bit off. I wonder if you can just cut the 700 wood and just rely on stagecoach to get your TPs and with the 400 wood and what we said, you know, but I mean, it's okay either way, I guess. So their boss gonna be up around 7 minutes, which is, it's a good age up time, but with a fast stage for Otto, it's a bit slow. Like we said, usually if you fast stage with Otto, you should be up at more like 6 something, you know?
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, behind this you do have 4 TP stage, so it's good eco. In fact, I think Otto will be ahead in eco for the next probably couple minutes before the 3 TC scaling starts picking off for Frontline. Sorry for Baus.
Yeah. And who knows, like Frontline might just TC himself as well, because oh wait, is he going industrial? I think he's doing 1k wood for 2 TCs and then 1k coin and just industrial there.
Yeah, this does look like a deck where you want to go like ASAP heavy cannon, which is super hard for ports to deal with, I think, actually. If you are like fully set up in industrial age, you have 2 factories just making heavy cannons or bombards, and then with all of these cards, these ASAPs are so upgradable, and they end up being like insane against goons. And actually, because of their range resist, they're not even that vulnerable to skirmishers. But actually, no, he is adding an artillery foundry and a Rax. So we will see some Jans and some Falconets.
Oh. Okay, so he's training Falconets. Kind of, wait, and he's got his TPs on XP. What?
I mean, I guess he has his TPs on XP because he just shipped 1k wood and doesn't need wood for now. He's dropping 2 TCs himself. Or at least one
Yeah,
TC.
but I mean, he's training Falks, but he's gonna get like what, 1 Falconet? Maybe he's gonna market trade. Yeah, he's gonna sell some food, but like just TPs on coin. I don't know.
He's actually gonna lose his TC here.
Oh wow.
Yeah, very.
The Falconets will be really nice, but I'm not sure about the like. Why would you train Falks and not ship them there? If you're gonna get 2 of them anyway. But Spahi Falconet Jan that early is gonna come in as a bit of a surprise for ports here, I think. I don't think he's gonna expect that much stuff. And like already a well-rounded unit composition for Otto that early is a bit unusual. So
Yeah, and that'll clean this army for sure. I mean, there's nothing
Yeah.
here that can beat Spahi, even the 8 helps, if they get targeted by
Oh,
the
he
Falcons.
does. He does scout it though, and he does snare the Falconets, but only 8 halves is just not enough. 1k wood coming in as well. Oh, the wrong Minuteman being called. Oh, okay, no, it's fine. It's from the other CC, so it's not that bad.
Ooh, but this is super
Yeah.
dangerous. Yeah, Spahi
1k
just...
wood at the same time instead of like 5 goons, which could have maybe helped. Feels like it's gonna be game already, right? Like everything's gonna go, like it's all gonna go down, and then the TC will go down, and then just what do you do? And meanwhile, Otto still has like the yeah, GG.
Butter!
Yeah, man, gotta love that.
Butter. Yeah. Rip. I think there were some network issues on Twitch's side. I don't think it's my problem because I'm actually hearing you fine and the stream is fine. So I think it's actually a Twitch problem. Let's see.
Oh,
Does it work for you, the stream? Can you just help me check for a second if it works?
it seems to be working. Yeah, I
Okay.
got an ad, but I can see the stream
Okay.
as well.
Cool.
I think people, yeah, have been talking about spies and stuff, so it looks like they were able to watch. So
Okay, good.
we good.
Yeah, sounds good. I thought it cut out like very briefly. But anyways, well,
Yeah.
GG's, Spahi, Otto, Bato. Not much to say here.
Yeah. So I guess the idea of training to Falconets was to just like not rely on shipments to have them, so you can ship Spahis and train Falks instead of shipping 2-unit shipments. Which is interesting, for sure. Then again, I guess he could have done the same stuff without just don't ship 1k wood, switch TPs to wood, and just ship Falconets and Spahis, and I think you just get more units at the end of the day, like more Jans. But yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
are you restarting your game?
Yeah, I'm just restarting the game in case it was lagging.
Okay, yeah, that's why it says, yeah, it was saying the streamer has ended on Discord, but that's
Oh,
why.
I see. Yeah, just restarting.
All right. But yeah, just just a small thing about this TPs on XP thing. I know some people were advocating like years ago already that it can be good to have TPs on XP. Just you need to think about something is that any resources you're gonna get will also bring you XP when you spend them. So it's like when you think about it that way, it just doesn't feel very good to have TPs on XP usually. Like 20% of the wood you get, like you will get 20% of the wood in XP, for example. So yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, I feel like generally I rarely see people get stagecoach and still put them on XP.
Right. Yeah.
But I think maybe there he wanted to just get the Spahi shipment out like as soon as possible, and then afterwards I think he switched back to wood or coin or something, right?
Yeah, I mean sometimes for specific timing it can be good, and in this case, yeah, it did work. I mean, then again, I don't know how the game would go if Boss didn't make 1 billion Cassadors, right?
Yeah.
It's funny that he did that, by the way, because usually you tend, especially as sports, to go a little bit gun heavy against Otto, and the thing is that usually you can pull trick your Cassadors. Like if you have, say, you only ship 8 Cassadors and you train pure goon, you can sort of like bully the Jans forever, right? And having more goons also helps against Falconets and obviously against Spahis and stuff like that. But I'm thinking at the same time, maybe he scouted the racks and foundry. Maybe that was part of the plan of Frontline there, to sort of like mind game his opponent into thinking it's just a Vet Abus Jan unit composition. And in fact, he goes Jan Falk Spahi with the foundry and the racks. So maybe that's why Boss made so many Cassadors for the Jan Abus.
Yeah, I actually think the bait was seeing the 11 AZAP in Frontline's deck, and also all of the AZAP upgrades and the 22 AZAP in H4. So maybe Baus thought that he would have been going for AZAPs, and that's why he went so hard on Cassador early on. But and even Haubs, right? Because Cassador Haub basically like hard counters AZAPs. Even if he had shipped Spahi, if there were AZAP Spahi, I think 8 Haubs and maybe another batch of Haubs and Minutemen or whatever might have been able to hold well, and that's why he was going pure Cassador. And that's why he was kind of like hesitant about going Goon heavy because of the AZAPs.
I guess, yeah. I mean, you can always just switch to switch back to Cassadors or something. I don't know. I feel like it's just risky to like Cassadors are also the weaker skirm when it comes to fighting cav and stuff like that, or even cannons. I mean, anything that's not like a skirm war or like infantry in general, Cassadors are a little bit weaker. They're a fragile unit, so yeah, we could see in that game how quickly they die. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
But good little timing and not really a cheese, but like unusual build order from Frontline there.
Yeah. We do have the matchup for the next map. I believe the map is Dnieper Basin, and we have Ethiopia from Frontline and Brits from OnlyBaus. I did accidentally switch them. So Frontline's Ethiopia versus OnlyBaus is Brits.
Okay, interesting. I think Ethiopia is if it hasn't changed, I feel like I think I remember Julian in last, I mean, I don't know if it was last EPL or, but yeah, there was one where I was captain and Julian was saying that Ethiopia was like really strong on some maps, but that Brits should beat them, I believe. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I do think that's still the standard, is that Brit tends to do well against Ethiopia. I think the reason why Frontline is choosing Ethiopia on this map is because there are those cows on the north side, like on the north side of the island, basically on the other side of the river. And the starting cows are so strong for the African civs.
Yeah, makes sense. Oh yeah, it's that one map. Okay.
All right.
All right, so yeah, we've got Frontline playing Ethiopia here in blue, and OnlyBaus playing Brits in red on the other side of the map. Crack shooting straight away, Wood Treasure in his base. Could maybe go for 3 manors or something like that, because I think that was a 50 wood. And Ethiopia going for the cows, like you said, makes sense. Oh, 45 wood. So you have to chop quite a bit, but sometimes it's viable to just get that third house.
Could you
Brits also going himself for the cows. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, could you also go market with the 50 wood, or is that not usual?
Well, you don't need the 50 wood to go market anyway, right? So it's more about, do you want to like get an extra house? It can be 2 houses in the market or 3 houses, you know?
Right, okay, yeah, makes sense.
But the thing about the market is that it costs 15 more wood than a manor if you get hunting dogs. Oh wait, it's 10 now. 10 more wood. So it's a tiny bit harder to like get market plus 2 houses, especially if you don't have 50 coin already for your hunting dogs and so on. Yeah. So it just depends on the treasures, basically.
So I think 3 cows for Ethiopia and 2 for Brit. So Brit will be happy with that because they have the slower explorer and still manage to get 2. I think there is a possibility where if your explorer spawns good and you go middle instantly, you can get 4 cows. I can get 1, 2, 3, 4 or something. It's possible, but it's probably pretty hard. So I mean, 3 cows still good for Ethiopia. It's a huge eco boost because the longer the game goes, the more these cows are going to be valuable.
Yep, definitely. So we see Baus did not go for the 3rd house. He just wants to age up early, and he might want to eat 1 or 2 cows to age even earlier. Then
Ooh, we got a pause
Bit of a
micro.
pause. Yep.
BRB bath.
Yeah. Such a classic.
BRB ramen. That's pretty common for Baus as well. I've heard.
BRB what?
Ramen noodles. Ramen noodles.
Oh wow.
No, the joke is that every time Baus and I co-cast together, we're always eating on stream. It's a little bit of a
Okay.
recurring thing, yeah.
And he's eating noodles every time, or
Well, I'm the one eating noodles usually, but I think both of us do it. a little
okay.
bit.
Ah, I think he spilled some on himself or something, and he's got to clean up now.
Yeah, look at this double pause in the first 2 minutes. What's going on here?
Yeah, we're soon gonna reach the max 15. Need to be careful there.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, 16 views for now for Brits. He's gonna go 17, I guess, which is just standard when you start with 2 manor houses.
Mm-hmm.
In Ethiopia, I have no idea, but it looks like he's just doing normal stuff.
Yeah, very cool. He has this Aromo Migrations card, which is like a very interesting card because it gives one villager for each villager you have lost. So like the more you get raided, the more bills this ships, which is super funny.
Such a noob card, man. It's like you bank on just sucking balls against raids, so you can chip that card.
Bank on sucking balls. Okay, one interesting thing you can do with this is send it after a Vil pull. Like if you're FFing and you have to Vil pull with something and you lose a bunch, you can like ship this and get all your Vils back, which is kind of interesting. But I definitely agree, it's a bit of a newbie card.
Yeah, it's kind of a stupid card, not gonna lie. But yeah, it could be smart for sure if you Whirlpool, indeed.
Yeah, I do notice that
But
in
like
H3.
15 views, man. Yeah,
Sorry,
go ahead.
what did you say? 18.
No, I was just saying, yeah, 15 views is ridiculous.
Yeah. That's a really funny card. But in H3, he does have a pretty greedy build because he has this 1k influence. He has the infinite 8 cattle. I think oftentimes you go for one or the other. I'm not 100% sure. But he also has this like kind of cool gather rate improvement, which basically is plus 15% on like everything. So it's just a better eco theory. And also he has this, which ships an extra hero and then improves his skirms in combat. So I don't know, some decent upgrade cards in H3 for both his economy and his units. Also in H4, right, he has the infantry combat card and this kind of a food gather rate card. So kind of greedy build, I'd say, for Frontline.
Yeah, pretty greedy deck indeed. And if Brits hit some kind of like H3 Falconet timing or something, and I don't know, maybe Ethiopia might be missing some unit cards in H3. But right now we do see a middle map barracks for Brits, so it looks like it's gonna pressure in H2 to begin with, which I think is the standard way to play this. I think you go longbow mosque, if I remember correctly, and just harass Ethiopia constantly. Maybe try to siege down some of those like mountain monasteries or whatever is the most exposed building you can get.
Yeah, definitely. I think oftentimes you can start... Actually, no. I was going to say you start longbow, but then you're at risk of getting Shalto popped as the first batch from Frontline. So I don't think that's the way. I think you probably just to go Musk start. And once you have 10 Musk or something, you start adding longbows. And you can kind of chill a little bit because the Ethiopia eco is not as good as the Brits one, obviously, early on with the manners. Although Abens, like making all 5 of your Abens is very, very strong. Only 4 batch of Musks though, and Gaskenia are faster, so they'll actually get some value here, I think.
Yeah,
4.5
looks like
speed.
Boss didn't expect the Gaskenias to be out that early, but they are. But he's not gonna really lose anything, so good for him. And yeah, he shipped Gaskenias as well, right?
Yeah, he shipped that second, so he wants an early timing, I guess. 15 Gaskenia, and maybe Shalto batch now, and he's probably just gonna push the FB, and this could be dangerous. Is Baus over greeting a bit? I don't know, but I mean, I think right now,
Oh,
look
the
at this
flank.
mass.
Commandament.
Yeah, that's like 16 Gascanias, I think, and Brits is gonna see them though, and the tower is gonna get some damage, but I feel like those longbows are toast, and well, maybe everything is toast here.
Look
He's gonna
how
try and maybe, yeah. This is exactly what you don't want as Brits. You want to be able to pressure early on, and if you start losing units for free, I think it's just game essentially. Because now it's just gonna snowball, right? Like the tower will go down, those Vils might go down, he's gonna pull them back, sacking the second racks, and looks like, oh, he's gonna, okay, so Ethiopia is gonna catch a raid here, and that's gonna buy some time, so he's gonna, like, Brits is gonna be able to get the racks up. Those showtails might just, oh, he's gonna turn back. A little bit hesitant from Ethiopia here, for sure.
He might just be waiting for the timing, because look at this now. 15 Shoto, 16 Musk. And this is his big timing. And let's see what Baus is batching, because if he's batching longbows, he is in big trouble here getting caught. And he's gonna caught regardless, because these Shoto are so good at snaring. Good de-snare here from Baus, but Vill's getting pushed off. Musk getting caught here. And still getting snared, because these Shoto are just all over you, right? They're so good at pathing, they're so good at like going through chokes, and all these Brit Musk are gonna go down.
This is just GG, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna pretend, you know, like he's just gonna lose everything here, and we've got like 6 Musk and 5 longbows in the back, but they're split from the rest of the army, and yeah, it's just gonna snowball. I mean, like everything's gonna die, FB will go down, and just what more can you do at this point as Brits? Yep.
Good
Might have wanted to get the second racks in base instead of here and try to remass there or something. Kind of had to sack the front base, I feel like. I was still kind of trying to micro this, but yeah, GG.
Yeah, I mean, I think Frontline just hit a really nice timing. Like, look at this military pop, right? Like, he's basically pushing at 720 with 44 units, and this is like a very well-rounded Musk Husk kind of composition. Not that these guys are actually Husks, but they do have an extremely fast fire rate and a good multiplier against light infantry.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Boss kind of had like a low unit count. He must have fucked up the build somehow. Did he ship, like, he went 7 and 600 wood, which is like standard, or?
I think he went 700
Yeah,
wood, 600 wood, and then shipped these. But by that point, it was kind of too late.
So this is the way to get a lot of units as Brits usually with double racks, but just somehow it didn't really get many units. Maybe the second racks was too late, maybe, I don't know. Something was wrong, but definitely should be able to get more than that as Brits.
Yeah, but also just really good positioning from Frontline, right? Like cutting off his reinforcements on this choke here and just taking a good fight and then turning back and cleaning up their reinforcements. So yeah, I think Baus did just get outplayed. Frontline played very well, and maybe Baus was not as precise, but this was clearly like very rehearsed. I think Frontline has played this matchup many times. And also, one thing to note is that one of his teammates is Phoenix, which is a very strong Brit player. So I think he's probably...
Did I hear you say Phoenix?
Yeah, I did say Phoenix.
I swear I heard Phoenix, but we'll pretend it was Phoenix. Anyway, yeah, I think we must have practice with him.
Yeah. Okay, so Frontline does guarantee the win for his team already, going 3-1. On the other hand, SKG, which is Frontline's team, does need some very favored series outcomes in order for them to get into the finals. So, for example, here, winning 4-1, if we can take a quick look at the prediction website while we wait for the players.
Yep.
So let's just say Frontline here wins 4-1. That will still put SKG at a disadvantage to make finals. So per my prediction here, SKG will still only have a 14% chance of making finals. rather. So like the Hudson Bay Bigs, which is Baus's team, is still favored with 88%. So they really need some magic to happen, I think, over the next few series. So as an example, like if Phoenix has a really nice, like played out of his mind and manages to beat Julian in a series, Opti, who has been on fire this season. So Optimus is actually 10-0. Imagine that, 10-0 in EPL. These are some Kaiser Klein numbers, right? So let's say he manages to 5-0 Kevin. Then we are in business, right? If we go back up and see, then SKG is actually favored. But we really need like some of these SKG players to step up for their team and kind of take these sweeps or near sweeps to upset HBB and make it into the finals. Now MDS, I won't say too much about because I think the only thing that can happen is they simultaneously unplug all of their opponent's routers and they manage to win like 22-3 or something. I don't think they have a chance this season. On the other hand, Soldier, my GOAT, maybe he'll 5-0, maybe he'll 10-0 or something. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. No offense to the players in MDS roster, but it doesn't look like there's any like tier 1 player among them, which means they kind of automatically have a bad matchup, right, against Keter or Haza. Well, I guess 2 bad matchups.
Yeah, exactly. I think in the past, so this is a funny thing, but Psionic actually has a perfect tournament record against Ketterboy because they've played in one series together, and Psionic won 3-0 in like a crazy upset against Keter.
Yeah, I remember that actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Was
think
it
you were
3-0 as well?
Yeah, 3-0 is a perfect
Wow.
record. It's the only person in the game who has a perfect record against Keter, which is kind of funny. And they are playing each other, but this is, I think, Ketterboy's chance for the return, right? He will be like making a statement. He's playing Psionic, and he'll definitely want to sweep Psionic, or at least win very convincingly to make up for that that last tournament performance. Haza
Yeah,
versus...
hopefully.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Hopefully he doesn't get a mental block or something, you know. I know that in the past sometimes I had some bad experiences. Like you play a tournament, like you play a really bad tournament series and you lose to someone who's like, I mean, no offense, but just worse than you, and you know you're the favorite, and then the next time you just perform poorly again because I don't know, like some stress or something, you know. So I hope this doesn't happen. I mean, good for Psionic if he wins, but I would feel bad for Keter if he just gets that kind of block, you know?
Yeah. I do think the two of them play together quite often in addition to the to that series, like either on ladder or just lobbies. So hopefully, I mean, there's no like negative emotions from either side, and they can both play their best.
Yeah, definitely. So it's gonna be Otto against Brit then.
Yeah.
That is definitely hard to play for Brits. It doesn't mean it's unwinnable, but it's just hard. Like you just get pressured so much. Like Brits are not a very easy civ. Like they're kind of easy in terms of plans. Like sometimes you can just build houses and train units, kind of, you know, and even stage 2 and stuff like that. But in terms of execution, they can be tricky. Obviously, you have more wheels to control. The macro is on 3 resources almost every game. You don't have a scum unit that can kite, so you have to be very careful. Like longbows can be very strong, but they can also be very weak depending on the situations. And so against a civ like Otto, which is the opposite, like Otto is super easy, has like just an easy life and lots of aggression, very fast. It can be quite tricky for Brits. And again, you don't have skirms and they have Jans, so you know.
Yeah, I think this matchup is quite interesting to play because from what I know, usually Otto, as you say, goes for that aggressive build with like Jan Falk early on, and can even add some of their OP cap shipments like either Mamelukes or Spahi, depending on the unit composition that Brit is going for. And because longbows can't really kite, oftentimes if you have lots of longbows and maybe not as many musk, like Mamelukes will be absolutely devastating. But we are on the map Saguenay. This is game number 5 between Frontline and Baus, the final game in this playoff 5 series. Currently, Frontline is ahead 3-1, so he'll be looking to secure this 4-1 victory in favor for SKG. On the west side of the map, in the color red, we have BAUS playing his main squeeze, the Ottomans. I'd say this is the civ that BAUS has kind of made a name for himself with, as a top ladder lamer with the Ottomans. But interestingly enough, in the 2 series where he's played Ottoman so far, he's lost both. So maybe he's showing a little bit of weakness with his main civ. On the right side of the map, on the other hand, we have Frontline playing as the Brits in the color blue.
Yeah, and I think I remember Frontline a few years ago, because like he's been around for some years. He was not as good back then, but I think I remember him playing some Brits quite frequently. So I think he should know how to play this matchup, which is, again, you have to know like what you're doing in this matchup as Brits, so that's good for him. This map is definitely a good auto map with the stagecoach, and even the water potential sometimes. But it's not the worst map for Brits. But you sort of like lack a bit of hunts. Yeah, I don't think you can do that because of the fog of war, sadly.
Yeah, I was curious if this TP is buildable, because I know there's some map spawn where you can't, right?
Oh yeah, it could bug sometimes, yeah, and you're not able to take it.
Yeah, I was just wondering. Yeah, but I agree with what you said exactly, right? Like the hunts can sometimes be dangerous on this map because they can spawn pretty, like this hunt you actually need quite soon, and it kind of is safe because it's kind of like up here and the opponent has to push through these choke points to get there. On the other hand, though, you can sometimes get some crazy raids when your veils are all up here gathering these hunts. I do think it's a really good auto map because the Kree are actually really strong for auto. I think they do have a build where they go 400 wood and they can train some CDBs while they're aging. So it's a little bit slower, not like the all-in kind of Jan Falk timing. But behind that, you can have, as you say, either Stagecoach or the CDB. And this tech is extremely strong. It gives basically all your units plus 5% HP with just 100 food and 100 coin.
Yeah, it's great. It's definitely great. Wait, can you check the tech again? Sorry, it doesn't work on cannons, right?
No,
yeah, okay.
No, just
right.
normal units.
Yeah, I was not sure anymore, but yeah, that would be insane for Falconet cores, in fact.
Right, because Falconet does exactly 200, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you get just the 10 more HP on your Falconets, you just automatically win the like you can even shoot after your opponent and still win the Falconet war, which is insane.
Right.
But it doesn't work on them, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, so auto's up already. Normal auto stuff. And he's aged up with the cow and 2 veils, so I think it's gonna be an FF indeed. We do see 700 coin. It's kind of like the normal way to go against Brits. H2 play can be tricky sometimes against Brits, so yeah, it makes sense that he just goes H3.
Yeah. Only Mabir, making his Mabir, of course. And he's gonna be searching for this opponent's explorer, and he does manage to snare the outpost. This is pretty significant actually, because he's doing a really good job at delaying this. Not that it matters because we're going FF, but still he knows exactly where this outpost is going to get placed down, and now they're actually both the Mabir and the explorer are going to start sieging it immediately, and it'll actually take a little bit of HP off of the tower.
Yeah, it's gonna be a solid like 500 HP or 600 HP down on this outpost, I think. Maybe less. Okay, now yeah, like almost 600. So good, always good to do stuff like that. And obviously, when he pushes in H3, it's just gonna save him a few seconds because the outpost is lower on HP. That or Brits will have to spend a little bit of wood to repair it. Gonna pick up a food treasure, which, well, I mean, can't be bad. 700 wood coming down as well, so I think we'll see a barracks going up in the auto base. A few houses probably.
Interestingly, he's starting with a stable.
Yeah. That doesn't look right. But maybe it just relies on, like, you know, some players, like, when they feel confident they can multitask and stuff, they just go cav kind of no matter what and try to make it work, you know. So it could be something like that. And Auto, if they start getting raided too much, they fall apart very quickly. They don't have a lot of eco, so you can't just afford to lose views and get idled as Auto. Like you have to keep the pressure going. So if you suck against raids, you're just gonna lose as Auto, kind of always. So let's see how Boss handles that.
Okay, so there is a potential cheese here, right? He can hide these Hussars, like, up here, and he's just waiting for the second shipment timing and hope that Baus is pushing with his Jans and his Falcons are kind of, like, unprotected. And that would be crazy, right? Like, if you just manage to pick up his Falcons. Okay, but I don't think that'll work now because they do get scouted. It would be really funny, I think, to, like, be able to catch the Falcons as soon as they arrive. But yeah, they're not going to get much value here because the 4 Deli are going to beat them on their own.
And the delis are a tiny bit faster than us, so Frontline has to be... Oh, he's getting caught. But doing a good job. Nah, gonna lose 2 of them. So nice little pickup for us already. So these cap have proved completely useless so far. They're like, they haven't achieved anything, and you even lost 2 of them. So that's not so good for Frontline. He's got 5 more, right?
Come on, guys.
Or 4 more or something. Gonna try and fight, but Boss should have fought that. He should have snared straight away. But yeah, gonna get the tower down now, and I don't think it's gonna be possible for Brits to defend it.
Yeah, look at the shipment curve from Otto. He's managed to ship, I guess, Nizams now, and then 2 Falconets. These Nizams, recently we've been seeing them a lot because the 6 Nizams in defend mode almost one-shot a Hussar. Because they got that 2.5x bonus, which is kind of crazy. Like, 6 times, what is that?
Yeah.
40. Okay, I can't math right now.
2.5?
60 almost, right?
On that's 60, yeah.
Yeah, 60, okay. So 60 times 6 is 360. But then I think they don't quite one-shot a Huss because of the 20% range resist. Right? 360 divided by
5 is like 72, I think. So yeah, that would be like 188 or something. Oh, no, wait. Yeah. Jan's getting caught somehow.
This is really good for Brit, no? Like, you're killing them before the Nizams arrive and, like, counter everything. And Minimin.
Yeah, sadly we kind of were trying to mass, and we sort of like missed the start of it. But yeah, I think it just pushed in a little bit too far, and Frontline nicely banking, like capitalizing on this mistake from Boss, and instantly calling Minuteman and actively snaring the Jans and stuff. And I wouldn't say it's GG just yet, but you can't really afford to lose your tempo as Otto, like I was saying. So, you know, like, he just got vet chance now, but he's lost like a big part of his army. So now he's just gonna get a house down because he knows he can't push with so few units, and he might just drop a TC there as well. I think he's going to do that right now on that coin mine.
Yeah, he just shipped 1 kill. He's gonna do that now.
Yeah, needs to gather it though.
Ooh, but these raids are gonna start getting really annoying because the army needs to stay here to defend the TC, and actually he's gonna go back with most of his army. And Brits will be able to run around with Hussars. And Frontline is very good at APMing just a few units to go be annoying. Like, that's a dead Veil, almost for sure. Unless he gets a really nice Potrick. Oh, good Potrick here from Baus, actually. Very well played. So no Veil's going down. I do see a Mabir somewhere here. Is he there? Do you see that red dot? I'm blind.
Yeah, it's on the left
of
the
there it is.
Yeah.
These guys, you can't even see them when I have a map hack on, bro. They're so hidden.
Yeah, it's so cheat.
Look at that guy.
But yeah, that's ridiculous. And we do have the Falconets and a decent amount of Jans. Like, it's not a ton of Jans, but it's really not easy to catch Falconets when you have just H2 Haas against like Nizam and Vet Jans and stuff.
I am sorry.
Yeah, he's gonna deny this trade post actually. Going to just raid the Vils, keep them all idled. And sadly for Baus, he's out of hunt in base.
He's going back.
Command, man.
He's going back with all his Jans, and I don't know why, because to be honest, 5 Vet Jans is enough. Like, sure, the Husk could clean up 5 Vet Jans, but it will always be a bad trade for Brits. So I would not send my army back, because, like, again, you need to make something happen now. And this is the dream scenario for Brits. Like, never getting pushed, just running around and Otto, like, defending his own base, and Brits just being able to do what they want. Maybe even gonna age at some point. Oh, I mean, he's aging right now, in fact. Yeah.
And he's going for
Gonna keep
Admiral.
his shipment. Yeah, so that's the Caravel and 300 wood, I guess. Yeah.
I think is it 300 wood? I think it's 300, right?
Yeah, I did say it used to be 400, but it's 300.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Might have misheard.
One house gonna go down.
This is not a scary mass though of Jans, honestly. Like, look at the Brit mass here, 36 Musk. He's gonna get the combats potentially as his first card. Although these Musk are also Jan combated now, so they're pretty strong.
And 1k gold coming in for the MAMs most likely, but being delayed because of the 1k wood for the TC, and I don't know, I feel like you need to be more aggressive than that against Brits. Maybe like just the 1k wood is a mistake, because Brits is just gonna be able to age up, and literally the only thing going for Otto right now is that he's got Falconets and Brit is H2, but that's about to change like in the next 5 seconds. And when Brits get their own Falconets, if they can just trade them for the Ottoman Falconets, Otto has nothing going for him.
Yeah. Like, he has a perfect macro now to basically get both his vets techs instantly, at least essentially instantly. Although he is actually a bit housed here. He's getting Vet Musk. I expect Vet's Husk will come in soon as well. He is losing some housing, which is hurting him a little bit because, as I said, he's low on
He needs
housing.
to just like trade resources, to be honest. You know that if you defend now, you win the game. So I would just trade everything to just get houses and vet techs and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, Otto is not even pushing anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, he's going like all the way back. Is Otto maybe trying to age here? No, he's not. Nothing in queue. 1k
I
coin
think he's
getting
waiting for
picked up.
MAMs.
Yeah.
Like, he's gonna go MAMs and then he's gonna desperately try to push. But MAMs are honestly completely useless right now against this Musk Haas army for Brits. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, Vet Haas do just fine against MAMs for starters, and then there's just a billion Vet Musks behind as well. So
These Vils are so exposed as well. And he's gonna ship Musk Combat here, and these Brit Musk with cards on them will be very, very strong. Picking up another batch of 5 Jans. Vils getting forced off resources. And I think Frontline's just gonna back after killing this army here, right? Yep, exactly. He's gonna back. The Husk can run around a bit, but he's gonna wait for his unit upgrades to come in. Even has a Caravel here for some additional safety. He's actually going into his...
yeah, he just goes back home for some reason, which I'm not sure was necessary, but I feel like I would have kept the Caravel for the Husk maybe, because they actually could be in danger, but he's going back for them now.
Look at the score difference. I mean, Brit is basically got off with a full manor boom because he's lost some houses and he's still on 180, so he's gotten like at least 20 villagers from manors so far. Yeah, 60 Vils versus Otto on 2 TCs, but still only 35 Vils. He's gonna get a big raid here potentially, as well as some low HP Vils as well. Yeah, Baus not noticing them quickly enough and gonna lose quite a few, at least 1 Vil.
I I think Frontline is not really microing his horse. He could have killed more, but does get 2 vills, yeah.
Okay, this is the big fight though. He's pulling back. He's pulling his vills. Vill pull here is always in the books for auto. Sorry, not for auto, for Brits, right? Oh, actually 3 coves coming out.
3 coves is so unnecessary, but it just so much doesn't matter. Like it is, yeah. GG. I mean,
No, it doesn't matter.
Just getting cleaned up. Like, yeah. He's even got enough pus to actually snare the Jans right now, so I think everything is gonna die there. So he didn't go mams at the end of the day. He just shipped 6 sabers, I think, and now he's trading bolts, but he popped only 1, and all his Jans are dead. GG, yeah.
Yeah, GG. Wow. Frontline once again maintaining his status as the #1 player of North America. He is now 5 in a row against Baus, which is a little bit sad to see for Baus. I think he's a very strong player, but Frontline just a little bit too strong, I think, right now. 4-1.
Yeah, definitely, and I felt like Baus wasn't playing his best either. Like, I've seen him do better than this. I think he made a few big mistakes that cost him some games. And yeah, I think he could, like, for instance, this game could have been won, definitely. But he just lost all his units in early H3, and yeah, from there it was kind of over. So, like, he pushed before the Jans, before Falconets. I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough. I think maybe he was trying to like catch some Brit vills or something being out on the map because he saw that the manners were super spread out. So he was maybe a bit too active with his units, trying to like, kind of outplay Brits by getting some raids. But instead it just ended up getting him his whole army caught. And Frontline actually with this reaction of 3 Culverins. I guess what he had thought was that Baus shipped 1k coin. He scouted the 1k coin. So he made, and the artillery foundry actually, I believe.
Yeah, and he did. I mean, he was like going to try and get more Falconets, so this 3 curve sort of made sense, but
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, you could just delete those 3 Culverins for Brits, and he would have just won the fight anyway. So.
Ready.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. Commandment. Ready.
But yeah, nicely done by Frontline for sure. He simply made less mistakes than Boss, and that's how you win games usually. It's a bit like in chess, you know, like no one plays perfectly, so it's just about who makes the least mistakes. And yeah, Frontline didn't make a lot of mistakes for sure.
Yeah, yeah. When are we getting a Kaiser Klein chess stream?
I did stream some chess sometimes a while ago when I was tired of AoE. I just put in chess, and I did rank up quite a bit on chess, but you know, I don't know that people would really watch if I did stream. So
I'd watch. That's fun. But yeah, that's nice. I think I caught one of these streams like a while back, but because of the time difference, it was like super late at night, and I was like, wow, this guy's streaming chess. Yeah. All right, I think this is it for us today. We have so a lot of games tomorrow. I will quickly share our share the sites where we can see when these games are happening. So let me know if you guys can see this. We have in 14 hours from now, we have EZAD versus Haza. So this is a big one. This is the tier 1 or tier 2 seeds from both teams, CMC and MDS. While MDS, I think, are essentially out of the game here, they will be, this will still be a very, very fun series to watch. Let's see if we can actually maybe get an interview here.
yeah, I lost my net because there's a bit of a thunderstorm around here, but I'm back. So I don't know if you were talking to me, but I didn't hear anything.
Oh, no worries. I just saw that your camera died. I was just talking about the next series. So in 14 hours from now, we'll have EZAD versus Haza. And tomorrow, you can check the website where you can see this in your local time zone. But we will also see on Sunday, Jalapet versus Zoom, and Julian versus Phoenix, and Kevin versus Opti. So there's 5 games. Yeah, sorry, 4 games. No, the other one is the next week. Yeah, so Kevin, Opti, Julian, Phoenix, Jalafet, Zoom, and Izad Haza. So lots of games tomorrow. And Jalafet will be debuting in EPL because he was the sub, and he's taking over for MDS. Yeah, and these are the most updated rankings. And SKG, don't count them out. They could be making a comeback here.
Do you know at what time this start tomorrow?
You mean when is the first game start tomorrow?
Oh wait, I got the schedule. Never mind.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
so it's
cool.
at 12. Okay, 12 GMT. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
Nice.
Good stuff.
I think. Frontline will be Frontline will join a quick interview. I think he said he's still not feeling super well, but we can do a quick interview and ask him a bit how he felt in that series. Hello, hello.
Hello.
How's it going, Mr. Frontline? How does it feel solidifying your best of NA status once again? Probably for the 5th time in a row now.
It feels pretty good.
Yeah. Kaiser, any questions you have? Okay, I think Kaiser's internet might have died, so I'll ask. Okay, yeah, his internet died. Rip Kaiser. Okay, so maybe just quickly game by game. I do know that apparently you asked Keter for his Rex of him versus Baus. Did you get any good insights from these games?
I did, yeah. Not exactly.
I'm back.
Oh,
Hey, what's
welcome
up?
back.
Sorry.
So, Baus is a very specific style play, and I think the best way you counter him is to run around quite a bit. So that was like the one thing I took away from the recordings I was watching.
Nice. So game number 2, I guess, Italy versus Russia. This was like kind of the same matchup as last week. Did you expect this kind of Strelette flood? Is that or did you kind of think that he was going to go for the same kind of must-cuss timing, and that's why you went for the naked FF?
I wasn't sure. I thought he'd probably try the same thing because it worked last week.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it should be fine for Italy either way, if you just do the naked FF like I did. The main issue was he kept running units through my base, so I had to keep changing the shipment point.
Right.
And I forgot to change it from the tower, and so the Falcons popped the top side,
Yeah.
and he's just kind of killed them for free. I think if
Yeah,
I
that
pop
was
them,
sad.
yeah, I think if I pop them with the Minutemen, I can hold and I can stabilize.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's what we are thinking as well. We kind of expected them to pop out of the Basilica. And then if you get the couple extra shots, like the time that the Strelets walk to your Falconets, they're just all dead, I think. And yeah, I think you're fine for sure.
Yeah.
Did you consider like fast aging to get the 12 bows, or do you think it's just not worth it and you just want your shipment anyway?
I thought about it, but the main issue is even if you hold, if you don't have a shipment, there's not much you can do. Because you're just sitting in base, right? And without the eco cards in age 3, I don't think Italy's that good of a civ. So as soon as it age 3, you have to push or you have to boom. And if you ship fast age, you can't really do either.
Yeah, okay, makes sense. Yeah, it's just gonna take you so long to get like enough units plus Falconets to push the blockhouses, I guess, if you do that. Yeah.
How about game number 4? That looked like a very precise, kind of well-rehearsed timing from you with the Shottel and the Musketeers. Did you like kind of practice this matchup with Phoenix who is one of the the main Brit mains in the game right now.
I didn't, but I've played the matchup several times. And I know, like, as soon as I see forward tower, forward Rex, I think he wants to run units into my base.
Hmm.
And so as long as I mass and then try to get the flank on him, it's really easy to get clean up. And yeah, after one good fight, it snowballs really fast.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. And how about the last?
In theory,
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
yeah, just do you think in theory Brits can hold this, right? If they just mask longbow and play very safe between their barracks and stuff. But like
think
you
so.
kind of expected him to maybe sleep out like he did, like just be a little bit too aggressive and just get caught and
Yeah,
snowball then, yeah.
I think it's a good matchup for Brits. You just have to be careful early on. Both civs have good unit shipments, but if you're too aggressive early on, you lose a mass. It's just difficult to come back into the game. So I think it's best for him just to wait at his Raxes mid map, and then ship a 6 longbow, then push out instead of going in with 5 units at a time.
Yeah, definitely.
How about that last
final game, I guess?
Yeah, starting
Yeah.
Huss, I think, is probably not typical in this matchup, but it seemed to work out really well for you. What was your thought process and like preparation regarding that kind of build?
Well, I know he likes the Gen semi FF.
Mm-hmm.
And I played this same matchup versus him, I think last series we played.
Yeah.
And the main issue with muskets is it's hard for him to ever push into your base, but he can just camp mid map, add TCs, and you don't really want to push because he has 2 fac behind it. So I figured it makes more sense if he's not going to rush me just to try to delay and idle him as much as I can. And then if he does go for the push, it's much easier for me to run behind zombie and catch reinforcements and stuff. So it ended up working about as well as I could hope.
Yeah, also I guess maybe you feel a bit confident that you can out multitask him a little bit. Like we saw in game 1, I feel like you had the upper hand in terms of raids and stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe going Cav can allow you to use that.
That's the other piece of the puzzle is auto is a very easy civ to play well if you're just focusing on your push. But if you start raiding and harassing and have multiple units on the map, then it becomes much more difficult for him to know what to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I was saying also during the cast. Like, you can fall apart so fast with auto if you just get raided and stuff, and your unit, like your army, is not very mobile as well. So yeah, definitely a good plan. Like I think in theory it should not really work, but you can totally make it work like you did. Yeah.
All right, I think that's probably it for me. Thank you, Frontline, for the quick interview. Just one last question, unrelated to this series, but how would you evaluate Baron's performance in these 2v2s we've been doing? You should tell the chat.
He's insane at this game. Baron's coming for us all.
All right, that's all you need to hear. Thank you, Frontline. We'll see you around.
See you guys.
Yeah, good luck next week.
Yeah, thanks. See you.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, so Frontline and I have been doing some 2v2s. We were bashing Soldier and some of his teammates. Let's go. NA boys.
Nice one.
Yes.
I
That's
need
it.
to see Soldier and VOA still being active. Yeah. After all those years, like, kind of crazy.
Yeah, I hear GUA's back and he's playing on the ladder again. I gotta try to snipe him sometime.
Yeah, so always fun to beat GUA. I have to say.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, I guess that's it for us then.
Yeah, that's it for us today. Be back in like a couple 12 hours or so for the next series. But yeah, I'll see you guys around. Thank you to Kaiser Klein as well for the cast, and thank you to everyone who's still here listening to us just chat about the game.
Yeah, thanks guys, and see you soon, I guess.